Hello, I'm Katie, and to my right is the wonderful and fabulous Megan. And today we are going to talk about binge drinking and how it's been a huge issue in the media lately. And our show is called sPoRNge, which is really cool.
Welcome to sPoRNge, guys.
Okay, so to start things off, yes, it's been in the media a lot lately. The government has been saying that it's been a huge problem. What do you think?
I think in ways it can be a problem, and in ways it's just a publicity stunt. Yeah, it's like smoking. They advertise it, say it's bad for you, but they still distribute it.
Yeah, they always have like those big advertisements on there, like, don't smoke, this is bad, this is really, really bad. But at the same time, they're not pulling them from the shelves. And why is that? Because they're profiting from it, what they do. So I don't know if the government actually has anything to do with this whole drinking issue, or maybe they're just trying to make it look like they're doing good without actually doing any good. Obviously, prohibition is not the answer to solving this problem, because then you end up with Al Capone. That's not good. Binge drinking, there can be good and bad to it, I guess. A lot of awesome things can happen. You can meet the person that you are meant to be with after a night of binge drinking. Like, you can just walk into a bar, see the person across the room, and get engaged and get married. That's fantastic. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you go into the bar, you see this person across the room, you're like, oh, they're so good looking. And then you wake up next to them, and it's like this old, hairy man, like, I don't know anything about this firsthand. Do you have anything?
Absolutely. I know that way too well. No, I don't.
But yeah, that's like...
So, and then it brings you to think, how many children are born into this world after a one-night stand of drinking? How many children do you think?
Probably way too many, especially in our town. Our town, for sure. For sure. My parents actually, no, this isn't true. I can't even pretend that this is true for a second. Parents loved each other forever. But anyways, that's off topic.
Isn't he adopted? I thought he was adopted.
My brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother is definitely not adopted at all. He's totally my parents' kid. But
so, back to alcohol. How do you consider if you're an alcoholic or a social drinker?
I think a lot of alcoholics use the scapegoat of being a social drinker. Like, be like, oh, I'm not an alcoholic. Alcoholics go to meetings. I'm just a social drinker. And then they don't fix their problem. And that's the other thing, too. Like, I don't think anything is going to change with this being in the media. They're trying to draw attention to it and pretending like they're fixing the problem. But nothing's going to change. The social drinkers are going to be like, oh, I'm not in that category. I'm not a binge drinker. Like, they just don't recognize their problem, that they just don't recognize that binge drinking is a problem. And then anyone who's an alcoholic is, for like, it's a very slim chance that they're going to fix it just because this is in the media. If they want the help, they're going to want the help. They can't just be like, oh, this is in the media, I need to fix myself. I need to fix my life. That's not going to happen. Either they're too far gone or they're already in the process of trying to fix it.
Absolutely.
When I drink, I turn into Spider-Man. This isn't true. We just got stuck. I made stuff up.
Well, you could also get into how many of us have alter egos when we drink.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think like it absolutely lowers your inhibition, so you are more likely to walk into that bar and see that person across the room and strike up a conversation. But we were actually talking about it earlier. Like, you walk into a bar and you're sober, like you're out with your friends and you're sober, and you see everyone going up doing karaoke, and you're like, wow, they sound like crap. They sound terrible. I would never do karaoke ever. Then a couple of drinks in, and you're like out there belting your heart out, just singing everything like you own it.
Nights.
And another thing that I find happens with like a lot of like friends of ours and stuff like that is they will drink. They'll be beer drinkers and things like that. And then they'll have a couple drinks and be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to drink tequila. Yeah, tequila sounds like a great idea. Sober, they would never drink tequila, ever. Would not do it. Then they drink it, and then they're like, wow, this tastes like crap. Why would I drink this? Because you're drunk. That's why it happens. And then you regret it. Unless you're too drunk that you just don't care. I don't know. So, are you going to go out drinking tonight now?
I was thinking about it.
Yeah? You're not going to change your life?
I'm an alcoholic.
Are you?
I'm asking.
I don't know. You might be. I don't know.
Should we maybe do a quiz?
Maybe. Yeah, like we were saying before, binge drinkers probably don't want to be like, oh, I'm a binge drinker. I have a problem. Probably don't want to do it. I go to school for journalism. This is true fact. And we were actually talking about this for some of our newscasts. And as part of the Streeters question, where we go around and we interview all these people and we ask them little questions, the question of the day was, when do you think you've had too much to drink? How do you know? And one of the awesome responses that we got that is really vivid in my mind was the guy was like, if you feel like you're too drunk to have a conversation with your grandmother, then you know that it's time to stop. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. If I am embarrassed with myself to be in front of family members, then I definitely know I've had too much. I mean, I like to go out and have fun and everything like that, but I would never want my family to know how disrespectful I could be.
Yeah, so I think that's all the time we have for today, unless you have anything else.
No, I'm pretty good.
All right. So if you like what we have done today, and you should totally subscribe to our channel and stick around and share us wherever you want to and leave us some lovely comments. We would appreciate it.
Hope to see you soon.